Warm welcome to the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium in Al-Ain for match 2 in the 17th AFC Asian Cup. This 25,000-seater stadium, one of the most modern in the Middle East, and it will be the venue for 8 matches at this year's tournament, including one of the semi-finals. It was also one of the venues for the FIFA Club World Cup in both 2017 and 2018. Today, though, it is the holders, Australia, who begin the defence of their title won back in 2015 against Jordan in Group B, Syria and Palestine to meet a little bit later on in Sharjah. It is a warm, clear day in Al-Ain, but comfortable enough in terms of temperature for the players. The stands, as you can see here, designed to provide shadow, and the pitch in perfect condition. There is a reminder of the 4 teams in Group B, a very Middle Eastern flavour to this particular section. There's the Australian dressing room. Matt Ryan, who recently won his 50th cap in the friendly against Oman. And there is Mark Milligan with the specially designed Asian Cup logo on the sleeve. The new trophy design, of course, which replaces the old one, which has been in operation for well over 60 years. Mark Milligan, the Australian skipper today. These are the scenes in the dressing rooms as the players prepare to make their entrance into the 2019 AFC Asian Cup. Australia have been staying nearby after starting their preparations at the Jebel Ali complex in Dubai. This is their 4th appearance at the AFC Asian Cup. They have, of course, only been members of the AFC since the 1st of January 2006. Could they become the first team since Iran all the way back in 1976 to retain the trophy after winning it on home soil 4 years ago? There's their coach, Graham Arnold, followed by his team.
Graham, thanks for joining us. Let's start with the breaking news. We understand Andrew Naboot was set to start but injured his groin at training yesterday. Jamie McLaren comes in. How disruptive has that been?
No, not disruptive at all. Every player trains, knows their role. Andrew, the last 5 minutes of training yesterday, we just played a half-pitch game and he felt his groin. But as I said, we've got some great depth and we go into this game very confident and expecting to win.
That aside, a big tournament upon us, the nation watching on. How comfortable are you with your preparations up to this point?
Yeah, look, I'm very comfortable. We've had a great camp in Dubai. The Oman game was fantastic. Boys are in great spirits. We're really excited about just getting it underway. It's been spoken about for a long, long time now. And, we watched the game last night and the excitement's here in the UAE and, we're excited as well.
Jordan, where can they threaten you? Why will you beat them?
Yeah, look, obviously Jordan has their strengths, but we will nullify them. We will press high. We will suffocate the life out of them in their half, and we will dominate the game.
Thanks, Graham. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty bullish words from the Australian coach, Graham Arnold. As for Jordan, well, they had their pre-tournament camp in Qatar, playing 3 friendlies there. This is, like Australia, their 4th appearance at the AFC Asian Cup. Their best results, they reached the quarterfinals in both 2004 and 2011, and I'm sure they will want to at least repeat that feat this time around. Went out in the group stage in Australia 4 years ago. winning just one of their matches under their previous coach, the late Ray Wilkins, but a revamped squad, some great new talents along with one or two experienced, wiser heads. And could they spring a surprise here today and see off the defending champions? There's their goalkeeper and their captain, Ahmed Shafi, his jersey hanging in the Jordanian dressing room. And this is the Jordan team arriving some moments ago. Now under a Belgian coach, of course, Vital Borkelmans, who we'll hear from in a moment. Jordanians looking nice and relaxed. This very much their territory, even though it's not their home nation. They will have the majority of the fans inside the stadium, which may well help them here this afternoon.
Coach, less than 1 hour and a half before the game against Australia. How to describe the atmosphere and what to expect?
What I can expect is that nobody can say. For me, it's very important that my players are very relaxed and coming to the game. And I say also today, we work together from October, and today is a big day for us. And we will see. They are good in the skills. They are mentally very strong. And today is a special game, but the other two games is also very important. But we start today to Australian. Australian won 2 times the Asian Cup. And we know we can play against him also, like we play against other teams. And I believe in my squad, and they are ready now.
Yeah, the words of Vital Borkelmans, who knows his opposite number, Graham Arnold, very well. They played against each other in Belgium. So, after the host, the UAE, got things underway against Bahrain last night in Abu Dhabi. Now it is the turn of the holders. And these two nations can't be split in terms of their historical results. 4 matches played, 2 wins each. And perhaps crucially, both Jordan's successes have come in this part of the world. Sasha Ogdanovsky, 22 times capped Socceroo, is alongside me for the call this afternoon. Sasha, good to see you. You played in the 2011 Asian Cup, reaching the final with Australia. What will the players be feeling at this precise moment?
A bit of nervousness, thanks Simon, a bit of nervousness, a bit of excitement as well. You know, you prepare for a tournament, they've been in camp a long time, and imagine how boring it is sometimes in camp. You're getting the same message drilled over and over again, and they'll be just chomping at the bit to get out there and show what they've been training for.
Well, there's the Jordanian fans in front of the official AFC logo. And they're going to make plenty of noise here this afternoon, make no mistake about that. Here in the city of Al Ain, the home of Al Ain FC, this stadium, winners of the AFC Champions League back in 2003 and runners-up in the recent FIFA Club World Cup, where they lost to Real Madrid after a thrilling win here at this venue over River Plate on penalties. But today it's about the AFC Asian Cup. Whether Jordan can repeat their successes against Australia in this part of the world. Now, those games are in World Cup qualifiers. This is tournament play, a very different kettle of fish. And where do you see the areas that perhaps Jordan can get at the holders, Sasha?
Look, I think just because the squad, it's a new squad, Australian squad. Yesterday they won the last one. There's a few players from that. It'll be interesting to see how they all settle. We saw in the lead up to this Asian Cup the few friendlies they had against weaker opposition. The Australians looked good. There were a few shaky moments at the back. They haven't settled on a front third per se. So it'll be interesting how they handle the combination plays of the Australians up front, because it's as much of an unknown to them as it is to us.
Well, Jordan competing at their third AFC Asian Cup in a row. They're fourth in total, so they're not exactly greenhorns in terms of this competition. And they are a gnarly outfit. They're fighters. They won't be overawed by facing Australia. As we've said, they've proved that in the past. And although there are one or two wearing green and gold in the stands, they will have great backing from their vocal supporters, and they can make quite a noise. All things in readiness at this wonderful boutique venue. Capacity of around 22,000. Clear skies here this afternoon. Pitch almost entirely bathed in shadow. And the supporters awaiting the arrival of the two protagonists. And Jordan, even though their record in 2018 has been a little mixed, they have shown they can mix it with the best, not just in Asia either. They did defeat Denmark by 3-2 in a friendly all the way back in January of 2018. Australia, of course, couldn't defeat the Danes at the World Cup, having to settle for just a 1-1 draw. So maybe a little omen of things to come here this afternoon. But Australia do start the favourites in what will be their 550th international of all time. And they are keeping the Jordanians waiting for a few moments as well down in the players' tunnel. Maybe a little bit of psychology from Graham Arnold and his team, Sacha.
Yeah, possibly there. It was interesting to hear the different types of messages coming out of the camps from the coaches. Graham Arnold very, very bullish about what the Australians can do, even though they've had all the setbacks with injuries and whatnot, and the Jordanians. He said there's another 2 games after this one, so if all is lost in this one, there are another 2 games for them to progress into the series. So it was just interesting to hear how the coaches were looking at this game. Graham Arnold very confident coming out. We're going to put him under the pressure. We're going to suffocate him. And the Jordanian coach Vital Borkelmann's a bit more. How can you say conservative in his approach, knowing that there's still another 2 games if today's game is not won.
Well, the Australians have finally appeared in the tunnel, and as you can see, they are proudly wearing the badge of AFC Asian Cup champions. So here we go, Group B at the Hazza bin Zayed Stadium in Al-Ain. It's the opening game in this section. It is the holders, Australia, up against Jordan.
شباب ابطال.
Well, it has been a trouble build-up for Australia to this tournament. The reigning AFC Asian Cup champions, a succession of injuries, and they won't have it easy here today against a very determined Jordanian side who have surprised the Aussies in recent World Cup qualifiers. 4 years ago, Australia got off to a flying start against Kuwait. Less than half of that team starts today. Are the champions good enough to retain their crown? The headline news for the Socceroos: Andrew Naboot suffered a groin injury in training yesterday and is ruled out. So opportunity knocks for Jamie McLaren up front. Awa Mabil retains his spot. Tom Rogic starts in place of Chris Economides. Otherwise, it's as you were from the friendly against Oman, with the exception of the return of Josh Risdon at right back in place of Ryan Grant. There is our match referee today, Ahmed Al-Kaf from Oman, who took charge of the second leg of the 2018 AFC Champions League final between Kashima Antlers and Persepolis, two teams from Japan and Iran last month, of course. The two skippers, Mark Milligan and Ahmed Shafi, both experienced campaigners, both appearing at their fourth AFC Asian Cup. And it appears as though first blood has gone to Jordan. They have won the toss. Let's see if that's an omen of things to come. Jordan, of course, didn't make it out of the group in 2015, but they have beaten the Aussies twice in 4 meetings. And here is their team. They go with a very fluid and fast attacking trio. Yusuf Al-Rawashdah, Yassin Al-Bakit, and the undoubted star of the team, that is Musa Al-Tamari, who plays in Cyprus but has reported interest from clubs in Italy. Behind them, 3 defensively minded midfielders, and despite the late inclusion of first-choice right-back Ihsan Haddad, Feras Shelbaya retains his spot. Australia a little light on the bench, with both Naboot and Matthew Leckie missing, even though their names do appear officially. Bahar Faisal likely to be one of the first changes for Jordan. Well, these games in the past have been physical, so maybe a busy day for the referee. It is the first competitive game in charge for Graham Arnold in his second spell as Australian coach. His last was also at the Asian Cup in 2007. And there is Vital Borkelmans, who played against Arnold in Belgium, whom he represented at 2 World Cups. And like Arnold, he's been in the job just a matter of months. There is Ahmed Shafi, veteran goalkeeper with 174 caps for Jordan. And his opposite number, Matthew Ryan, who of course plays in the Premier League with Brighton. So Australia in green and golds, Jordan in all red. Off we go in Al Ain. So important to get off to a good start in the group phase. Australia the favourites, but Jordan certainly not to be underestimated, Sasha Ognanovsky.
So important in this first game to really put your stamp of authority on your opposition in the group. You know, with Australia come out and really put in a good performance, it'll make the other teams think a little bit more about them. If Jordan come out and can do a job against the Australians, then the others will be thinking about them.
And what about that late injury to Andrew Naboot? That would have thrown all the best laid plans of Graham Arnold's right out of the window yesterday.
Well, he's a starting 11 player for Australia and an important cog in that front third, so big loss. He looked lively against Oman in the friendly, but it's a big loss for Australia. And Jamie McLaren gets his chance. He hasn't scored for the Australian team yet. Let's see if he can in this game today.
Yeah, big opportunity for the Hibernian striker, making just his 10th appearance for his country. Here is Miloš Degenek for Australia, who plays his club football, of course, in Serbia with Red Star Belgrade. Although there is some talk that he may be on his way to a club in Saudi Arabia. And just on those injuries, Sash, it is difficult to remember a build-up to a major tournament for an Australian team that has featured so many injury problems.
So many injury problems to key players. You know, we saw Boyle, innocuous really injury against Oman. Apparently he heard a pop in his knee. Naboo at training yesterday. Lecky, a hamstring before the tournament. Aaron Moy, the Huddersfield midfielder, unfortunately totally ruled out of the tournament. But it does give opportunity. It does give opportunity to other players to come in and stamp their authority on the position and do something for their nation.
And of course, Daniel Arzani ruled out well before the tournament started, but that's the lot of the national team coach. Can't legislate for injuries. And here's Awer Mabil, who's perhaps one of those who's profiting from those absentees, but not a particularly good touch. And it'll be a throw-in for Jordan.
Graham Arnold, not too worried about what happened in the past. He wants to rewrite history with this different squad. He wants to get the best out of these young players. On the side of the team bus, an interesting message, Simon: heroes will rise.
Let's see if that's the case. Trent Sainsbury forced to backpedal. And Al-Rawajda went down rather theatrically inside the penalty area. No suggestion of a spot kick. And Awer Mabil will latch onto that touch from Jamie McLaren as Australia try to construct something here. Jordan back in numbers now. Little step over from Mabil, but he got the final touch. And it will be a goal kick.
Positive from Mabil there. Not much in that, I don't think. Positive work there by Awer Mabil. Running at players, that's what Graham Arnold would want to see from him. Being proactive and running at players.
Dangerous Musa Al-Tamri with his first real involvement, but the ball gets away from him, and Australia back in control through Trent Sainsbury. Josh Risdon, just one of three from the domestic competition Australia as part of this squad. Zayed Murjan trying to release Al-Rawajda down the right, but a little bit overhit. And those front three will rotate and try and keep Australia guessing. All three, Al-Rawajda, Al-Bakit and Al-Tamri, fast and tricky.
You see they get back into the defensive shape, the Jordanians, into almost a back 7, 4-3, and the three guys you mentioned up front. They have a free role to press and do as they please.
Sainsbury for Risdon. Now Awer Mabil, and the flag was up against Robbie Cruz, who's looking to score for the third consecutive AFC Asian Cup competition. He has found goals relatively hard to come by at international level, but he saved them for the major tournaments, particularly this one.
Let's hope so. They need him in this tournament. It's the amount of players that have succumbed to injury. He's a vital cog for this Australian team at peak.
Massimo Luongo guilty of the infringement and is just being told to settle things down by Mr. Al-Kaf. Went a little high there on Salim Al-Ajlid.
A couple of tackles early from the Jordanians and Massimo Luongo there.
Floated forward by Bahar Abdurrahman. Safely seen back by Miloš Degenek towards Matt Ryan. Hazza's Zayed. Link it up with Robbie Cruz. Had two Jordanian defenders around him and played it off Tarek Khattab for an Australian corner.
That combination very important in this game. I think if Zayed and Cruz can get a little bit of chemistry, they'll give the Jordanian right back some headaches today.
Al-Kaf in fine form for his club side in Denmark, Midtjylland. It's really exploded onto the international scene. Whips in the corner. Ahmed with a spectacular punch clear. Not under any real pressure, but he got good distance on it. That's a strong but perfectly fair challenge on Tommy Rogic by Khalil Baniatia. And the throw-in is Jordan's, despite what Australia think.
Goalkeeper could have caught that one. Shafi, he went for the photo shot there. Under no real pressure.
He is a goalkeeper of real personality, Ahmed Shafi. Known as the whale in these parts. Not quite sure whether that's a compliment or an insult.
Not sure.
But it's perhaps should have been the start that we expected. Australia with the weight of possession, but Jordan looking to spring on the counter.
Yeah, look, I don't think Jordan would go pound for pound and open up against this Australian side. They get back into position quite quickly, which you can see, and then they do have that pace up front.
It's a lovely ball by Sainsbury. Zayed quickly into space. Yusuf Al-Rawash there has stolen it back for Jordan, and now they'll look to launch down the right through the dangerous Musa Al-Tamari. It's Al-Tamari looking to cut back onto his left foot, which he prefers to do, but it was a good chase and retrieval by Milos Degenek in the end.
That's exactly what the Australians need to be fully concentrated about. Quick play there, foul play on by the referee, great advantage, and then the dangerous Musa Al-Tamari really running at the defence and taking him on.
Milligan, Rogic able to turn, but not accurate enough with the release. And it cannons off Zayed for a throw for Jordan.
There are little pockets for Tommy Rogic in particular to work in between. Just need to get those balls in between the Jordanians.
Offside against Al-Tamari. 21-year-old, who is actually the youngest player in the Jordanian squad. There he is, and attracting all sorts of compliments and interest, particularly from clubs in Italy, where it's said the likes of Cagliari and Fiorentina are interested in acquiring his services.
He's 21, but he's carrying the hopes of a nation. He's their biggest star, their biggest name.
Graham Arnold's not particularly happy about the release from Trent Sainsbury. Those two, of course, have a family connection. Sainsbury is Arnold's son-in-law.
Interesting how that would work in the change room. Could make for cagey Christmas dinners, Simon.
Zayed Merjan scrapping for it along with Al-Kaf. Cruz let it run, but the anticipation was from Anas Bani Yassin for Jordan. Now with Luongo, who didn't look and didn't see the Jordanians coming. And here's a chance for Khalil Baniatia. Oh, and he played it slightly behind his teammate. Still alive potentially for Jordan. Recycle through Bahar Abdurrahman. And the shot stings the palms of Matt Ryan. Yusuf Al-Rawash there with the piercing drive. And Vital Borkemans will be happy with that particular razor-sharp counter from the Jordanians. Well, Massimo Luongo caught napping.
It's a warning for the Australians. You see how dangerous they are on the break. They have pace. The pass wasn't great there. But then the back play there by the Jordanians, and then Rawash with a stinging strike. Matty Ryan couldn't hold on to it. Just a warning sign there for the Australians. They need to be 100% concentrated, not lose the ball in dangerous positions like they just did.
Here is Luongo, who's probably the most relieved man in Al Ain at the moment. Rogic unable to get away from Khalil Baniatir, who's made a strong start to the game. And look at that. Nice little nutmeg through the legs of Josh Risdon. And Ryan is going to have to come out and sweep here. And all of a sudden, Jordan have got a bit of a swagger about them.
He's been fantastic. Baniatir in this opening 12 minutes. Some strong tackles, great interceptions. Been Jordan's best.
As we mentioned in the build-up, those three, Abdurrahman, Murjan and Baniatir. Three tigers in the tackle in the centre of the park for Jordan. Here's a chance, though, for Australia. Awamabil forces a save out of Ahmed Shafi at the other end. Both goalkeepers called into action. Now with Robbie Cruz. And it cannons away off Tarek Khatab for a corner.
Well, the game has come into life, hasn't it, Simon? Fantastic chance there from Awamabil. Great save there by Al-Shafi. Made himself big. Cruzy with the follow-up strike. Wins a corner for his country.
Off the knee of Ahmed Shafi. Mabil's corner and another punch. But again, he gets good distance, Ahmed Shafi. Might be a little unorthodox at times, but gets the job done.
Effective. It's a punch, it's gone 30 metres.
Now playing with the Shabab Al-Odon club. Ahmed Shafi left Al-Wadat last year after 11 years at the club.
Well, it's interesting, the Jordanian team. They either play in Jordan for Al Jazeera or Al Fisali, so they know each other quite well. 5 or 6 in the starting 11 from Al Fisali.
A chance at either end. Matt Ryan and Ahmed Shafi equal to both attempts on goal. This is Salim Al-Ajlin to launch it long. Brought down nicely by Al-Tamri, but tracking his shot well wide of Matt Ryan's goal.
Al-Tamri done exceptionally well there, holding off Trent Sainsbury there, and then he was allowed to turn and get onto that dangerous left foot.
Sainsbury, there he is again. Khalil Baniatir mopping up all those little errors and loose balls by the Australians.
Anything that's a little bit awry, he's cleaning up everything.
He's one of those you mentioned who plays for the Al Faisali club, 70th cap today. Very physically tough and strong. Sainsbury jumping at his opponents rather than the ball. Might have been a touch fortunate to get away with that.
Lucky it looked like a foul to me there, Simon. Wasn't really looking at the ball, Trent Sainsbury.
Jordanian fans lifting the volume again.
It's like a home game for Jordan. There's a possession stat, but not really showing the true nature of the game, that possession stat. Jordanians happy to give Australia the ball in their own half in particular.
Aziz Bayic with the delivery. Oh, and Al-Ajlin didn't really deal with it. Awamabil determined to win it back. Risdon.
And again,
there he is again. Khalil Baniatir, and away come Jordan. Yassin Al-Bakut on the left. Tommy Rogic in hot pursuit. No foul there by Rogic.
Good work there by Tommy Rogic. Definitely out of his comfort zone, but fantastic chase back. Good defending.
Rogic, of course, another one of the Australians who has been under a little bit of an injury cloud coming into this Asian Cup. Missed the friendly against Oman.
It'll be interesting
with,
to see.
a knee problem.
Interesting to see how that knee problem goes throughout the tournament, Simon.
Here's Josh Risdon looking to pick out Jamie McLaren at the far post, and that was a less convincing punch by Ahmed Shafi.
Doesn't like catching the ball, Ahmed Shafi.
Steadied down by Zayed and they look for Al-Tamari. Strong play by Milligan, shoulder to shoulder.
Fantastic play by Milligan. Clean, strong and hard. Leading by example, the skipper.
It's been a lively opening stanza, Sasha.
Fantastic first 17 minutes. Chances at both ends. You can see what both teams are trying to achieve. Both teams looking dangerous.
Risdon is a little bit quick along the ground towards McLaren, and Cruz has picked up a whack in the process of being a part of that latest play as well. He's back up on his feet now. And this is Anas Bani Yassin for Jordan.
Jordan's turn to possess the ball and knock it around a bit.
Anas Bani Yassin trying to go long, but got his angles horribly wrong. I think that's safe to say.
I'm sure Vital Borkermans. Well, there's a unconvincing tap away there. Jamie McLaren lurking at the back stick. Great cross there by Risdon. Putting Ahmed Shafi under some pressure.
Tommy Rogic. He came inadvertently off the head of Firas Shelbaya. And Aziz Bayic happy to let it run out behind for a corner.
Yeah, not a lot of talk there between Yusuf Al-Rawashtar and Shelbaya. Cost his side a corner.
Which again, Awa Mabil is going to take. That is once Yusuf Al-Rawashtar has retreated the required 10-metre distance. Deganek's gone down at the edge of the box. Again, the punch from Shafi.
He's been good with the corners, hasn't he? Ahmed Shafi.
Rogic. Again, Khalil Baniatia with the crucial intervention. Australia still have it.
There is space in between the lines there. If they can get the ball into the likes of Robbie Cruz and Tommy Rogic.
Cruz just bumped off it. Strong play by Bahar Abdurrahman.
Well defended there by Jordan.
Sainsbury wins the tussle with Zayed Merjan.
Nice strong work there by Trent Sainsbury as well. Both defences looking quite comfortable at the minute.
Al-Tamari, the latest to go down rather too easily. The referee, Ahmed Al-Kaf, so far hasn't bitten.
Well, he's not getting sucked in, is he? He's letting the strong play go.
Says Luongo. Risdon thought about Mabil down the line. Luongo trying to ride the challenge of Anas Bani Yassin, but just had his ankles clipped. And it'll be a free kick for Australia.
Clipped at the right time also, Simon. Jamie McLaren has made a run straight through the heart of the defence there. That's where the ball was heading. As Longo was clipped. Another set-piece opportunity for Australia. So far, Shafi has been in control of all of them. So Tommy Rogic with an in-swinger here.
Try and find that angle between defenders and goalkeeper. There's a bit of push and shove that Mr. Al-Kaf wants to sort out. And he's keeping a beady eye on that. Miloš Degenek involved for Australia. That should be the goalkeepers again. Whistle had gone in any case.
He's done well there again. Shafi has dealt with every ball that's been crossed into the box so far.
He's trying to deal with the referee at the moment as well. He's going to have to be careful he doesn't talk himself into the book.
Wasn't happy, I think, with a push from one of the Australians. On Salim Al-Ajalin.
Well, it's just a bump,
Not
isn't
much
it, between Mark Milligan and Salim Al-Ajalin?
Not much in that at all.
But Ahmed Shafi was quite vocal in his protests. Graham Arnold with a tactical instruction as to when Australia go wide. I think you could lip read the rest.
The Australians need to do better with their set pieces. They've had several corners. And that was a free kick in a dangerous position. But again, straight in favour of the goalkeeper, who's not afraid to come out. There having his finger looked at. He was holding it after that challenge where he ran back there. Physio's just having a quick look at his finger.
Maybe a potential dislocation. Not enough to take him out of the game, of course, but painful nonetheless, if that's the case. Bit of space here for Miloš Degenek. Rogic quickly closed down. They've done a terrific job, those three in the centre of the park for Jordan. And here is Zayed Burjan. He has a little bit more licence than the other two to get forward. Back through Bahar Abdurrahman. Karas Shelbaya getting involved as well. Yusuf Al-Rawash there, who had Jordan's best opportunity after 11 minutes. Nifty footwork from Tarek Khattab. And now Anas Bani Yassin looking to float it over the top, and Risdon was backpedaling quickly. Al-Ajalin happy to settle for the corner.
Good passage of play there for the Jordanians. Bani Yassin with a teasing ball over the top. Josh Risdon getting his head onto it. Jordanians with the corner.
Well, you won't be surprised to hear they've thrown both their central defenders forward. Jordan for this set piece, Tarek Khattab and Anas Bani Yassin. They'll look to break clear of the pack. Al-Tamari in, the opening goal arrives. It is a wonderful header from Anas Bani Yassin. Vital Borkelmans punches the air. Jordan lead in the 26th minute.
The big centre half rising to the occasion. He was the one that played the ball in over the top of Josh Risdon. And then he goes up for the corner. Fantastic delivery by Al-Tamari. And an even better finish left unmarked, nobody near him. And a fantastic header, nothing Matty Ryan could do about that.
Well, where was the Australian marking? Needed a little glance off the frame of the goal to help it in on its way. Ahmed down on his knees in praise and thanks for that goal from Al-Kaf. The veteran defender from Al-Kaf. What a moment for Vital Borkermans and for Jordan. The defending champions trail in Group B.
What a start for Jordan. Their first set piece, fantastic delivery, 1-0 up.
And is history about to repeat in this part of the world? Jordan, 2 wins from 4 previous meetings against the Australians, but both in the Gulf region, and their fans are really trying to raise the roof at the moment, and why not? Oh, could be a mistake here by Sainsbury. Al-Tamari goes down, free kick Jordan. Australia in real trouble at the moment.
In transition where they've looked dangerous, Jordan.
Well, how big is this moment? Sainsbury got caught out and in trying to rescue the situation, dragged down Musa Al-Tamari.
Free kick in a dangerous position. Have to keep their heads here, the Australians.
Well, listen to the noise from the Jordanian fans. We've seen one veteran score in Anas Bani Yassin. What about Bahar Abdurrahman, the 32-year-old from Al-Kaf? Looks as though he fancies this one. Two-man Jordanian wall just to keep Australia guessing. 2 men in the Australian wall to cause mischief as well. Oh, onto the crossbar by Matt Ryan. What a hit that was from Bahar Abdurrahman, and what a save from Matty Ryan of Australia.
What a strike, and again, what a save there by Matty Ryan. Australia on the back foot. And their goalkeeper saves them here. What a strike. And an equally fantastic save there by Matthew Ryan. Strong hand to get it up onto the crossbar and save his team from going down 2-0.
Well, this time the frame of the goal was Australia's friend. And the Socceroos just a little shell-shocked at the moment. Here's Jamie McLaren as they try and clear their heads. It's offside against Zayed.
It's poor for Zayed. He's looking across the line. Really needs to do better there in a promising situation for the Socceroos. Getting caught offside while you're looking across the entire back line. Not good enough.
Well, you have to admire the intensity of Jordan and the setup of their coach, Vital Borkermans. Those 3 defensive tight midfielders for me have been key.
They've been outstanding, Simon, in this first half. Baniatia in particular. Nothing has gone through him. Interception after interception. He's been fantastic.
Here's Riston. Australia forced just the one real opportunity. Al-Mobile. As long ago as the 13th minute. It was a good save by Ahmed to deny him. Jordan have had a really good spell since, and they have the impetus and the goal. Riston finding Cruz cleverly on the edge of the box. Al-Mobile to sling it in. off the head of Bahar Abdurrahman. Sainsbury looking to atone for the concession of that free kick, which so nearly led to a second for Jordan. Zayed Merjan. And here's their danger man, Musa Al-Tabari, but Deganek had his measure that time.
So dangerous, isn't he? Every time he gets the ball, he looks to run forward and put him under pressure.
And Milligan has been caught.
A little bit late with his challenge there, Musa Al-Tabari.
Yeah, he's just raked the studs down the shin of Mark Milligan.
Just clipping the skipper there.
Maybe a little fortunate to escape a yellow card. Al-Tabari. Here's Rogic. Australia need a bit more out of him. He's floated it forward to find Robbie Cruz. Back through Rogic again. Milligan, Risdon making a run. And Milligan did find him, but there was enough pressure applied by Yassin Al-Bakit to deflect the header well wide of the goal.
Difficult ball there to play in by Milligan. Tommy Rogic, though, I'm sure that Graham Arnold will want him in and around his strikers. He's coming too deep, I think, to pick up the ball for his side. He'd want him around the box where he's most dangerous.
Luongo, Nabil.
Loose touch.
He's been caught too by Salim Al-Ajalin.
Any loose touches by the Australians are quickly pounced on by the Jordanians. They're really on their game today.
Risdon didn't really know too much about that, but it's worked out all right for Australia. Rogic to float it towards Bajic. It was the right idea. Just a little heavy on the execution by the Celtic midfielder.
That's where they want him. That's where he can do damage. Tommy Rogic. Cheeky little pass in between. Just a bit too much on it for Bajic to get to.
There's the man of the moment for Jordan, Anas Bani Yassin. Just his 9th international goal and his 111th international appearance.
It's a good return for a centre-half, Simon. What an important one for his team. In the opening game against the current holders to put his team 1-0 up.
Clash of heads as left Massimo Luongo seeing stars.
And blood coming out. Let's hope he's not. Let's hope it's just a cut and there's no concussion there, Simon.
Well, the last thing Graham Arnold needs is yet another injury to fret about. They're trying to staunch the flow of blood, and here's why.
Stray elbow there.
I thought initially it might have been a clash of heads, but I think you might be right.
Zayed Al-Merjan in the challenge, strong in the challenge. We've seen a few strong challenges in this first half, Simon.
Well, Jordan won't want their momentum slowed because they have the ascendancy, and it was a towering header and an accurate one, crucially, by Anas Bani Yassin, even though there weren't too many Australian defenders around it.
The man on the floor there, Massimo Longo, was the closest to him. Didn't jump with him. But it was a great ball also, Simon, in a dangerous area, away from the goalkeeper. We've seen the Australians with 3 corners, all put in the vicinity of Amar Shafi, and he's dealt with all of them.
And Massimo Luongo has had the headgear applied. He'll be back with us shortly. Let's see if that little break just breaks Jordan's concentration and momentum. There is Luongo back with us, showing there's nothing wrong with his noggin either. Climbing nicely to win that ball in the air. Again, Khalil Baniatia with the challenge.
Fantastic half from him.
Sainsbury. Rogic.
Just picking up the ball too deep for me, Rogic. He's not dangerous from that far out.
Mabil. Risdon, Luongo. Gets away from Yassin Al-Bakit. Mabil, it's a good turn initially, but guess who?
Again. He's been everywhere. And another corner for the Australians. Let's see if their delivery can be better.
It's our Mabil again to take. And it drops nicely for Rogic, but his touch let him down. And then Rogic has got over. Along with Anas Baniatia, but Baniatia is back up. Mabil's cross, Jamie McLaren attacking it at the back post, but it's well over the bar.
Jamie McLaren had to sit there. Just timed it, didn't time it the best. See, there was a...
Well, neither Anas Baniatia nor Tom Rogic look totally ready to continue, but referee's not going to allow the physios or the trainers, the medical staff to come on. There was the little incident between the two.
Tommy Rogic stood on Baniacia's ankle there.
And then rolled his own in the process.
He's still struggling. Still limping there, Tommy Rogic.
And intriguingly, a little rueful look towards the Australian bench. He'll persevere for now. Josh Risdon is happy to see that one fly past Yassin Al-Bakit as well.
Still holding his ankle. Tommy Rogic. He'll have to see out this half. 5.5 minutes plus stoppage.
Sainsbury. Mabil. Khalil Baniatia again. He has been everywhere in this first half.
It's been a wall.
A one-man red-shirted wall.
Absolute fantastic half of football from him.
They're past him this time. Mabil, there he is again. You just can't get through him. And Al-Bakit draws the foul out of Luongo. More frustration for Australia.
Well, it is. They're getting frustrated. You can see a little bit of frustration building. Jordan happy to take their time now.
The question, Sasha, is what does Graham Arnold do about this at half-time?
Well, I don't know. He's lost a lot of his attacking weapons through injury, Simon. So it's a case of whatever's on the field needs to do a lot better. He has a player in Chris Economides who's been in fantastic form in the A-League, scoring 6 goals this campaign, scored against Oman in the friendly, that he can bring on. But apart from him, there's not too many attacking options for him on the bench. Fit ones anyway.
I just wonder whether he might be thinking more in terms of somebody like Jackson Irvine
Well, he's been in goal-scoring form for his club, hasn't he?
Matt Ryan out together under pressure from Zayed Murjan. Anyway, we'll see what Arnold does. But it's certainly been a rather problematic half for the Asian Cup holders. Let's see if they can turn it around before half-time. There's no way through for Risdon. It's Bani Attia again. An outstanding first half.
There he is again. I think the first thing that he needs to do is tell him to play on the other side of the field, because they just cannot get down past this left-hand side of Jordan's side.
It's a good point, Sasha. Very good point. Rogic. Back through Milligan, the Australian captain. Heavy weight of possession still with the Australians. Just that one real clear-cut opening they've created for Awamabil in the early phase of the game.
And it came down their left-hand side. We have
Degenek. Ferried back by Bajic through Milligan. Luongo. Drops for Bajic. Mobile. Cruz handball, surely. That looks clear-cut for me. Off the hand of the Jordanian defender, but referee Ahmed Al-Kaf says no.
Well, it looked that way to me too, Simon. Very, very lucky to escape with that, particularly after what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, that penalty awarded in the UAE-Bahrain game, which looked a little soft to many observers. I'm sure we'll see the incident here again in a moment or two. Meantime, Australia continuing their attacking thrust through Miloš Degenek here. Found by Luongo. Bajic back through Rogic. It's a sustained period of possession for the Australians. Can they find some penetration? Bajic's cross straight to the goalkeeper. Here's the moment again.
It's a clear handball.
Well, it certainly strikes the arm, of course. The question is whether it's intentional or not. Is he trying to bring his arm away? The referee has to decide all those things in a split second.
Oh, going off yesterday's.
Well, that's
penalty
the
given,
benchmark,
Simon.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's got to be a handball. It's got to be a penalty. Whether it's intentional or not, I'm sure yesterday's one wasn't, but it was given. But they're having a bit of joy down that left-hand side. The Socceroos. I'm sure Graham Arnold will be telling them, try and get down that side as much as we can. And also we're having joy when our centre halves, because we're only marking one up front, when Degenek is carrying the ball, is creating that extra player, and the Jordanians need to come out to him.
Bani Attia again with the intervention, and again.
And again.
Wow. I'd love to see the stats on how many tackles he's made in this first half. And the chemistry not quite there between Murjan and Altamari as we move into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. And Sasha, your assessment of this first 45?
Well, we didn't see the suffocation that was promised from Graham Arnold. On the contrary, they had a lot of possession, only created one really strong chance there for Awamabil. Going to need to improve markedly, particularly in that front third. The likes of Cruz and Tommy Rogic need to get more involved, whereas Jordan have been sensational. They've been set up well. That defensive wall in midfield, led by Bani Attia, have worked their socks off, and they've nullified Australia, something that Graham Arnold said they were going to do to Jordan. A lot of work for the Socceroos to do in the second half for me.
Bajic. Little shimmy gets rid of Al-Rawashter. It's too high for McLaren, and Tommy Rogic can't control it.
Well, again, a bit of joy from the left-hand side. And there's the handball. It's a clear handball.
Well, it's certainly off the hands, but is he trying to drag his arm away, Shelbayer?
He is trying to.
Does
drag
that
his
matter?
arm. It doesn't matter. Not from yesterday's. Not from yesterday's penalty. But again, the joy for Australia is coming on that left-hand side.
Incidentally, if you are wondering, no VAR in the group stage here at the Asian Cup, as the whistle blows from referee Ahmed Al-Kaf, and it's the Jordanians who are in great spirits at the break here in Al Ain. They lead by a goal to nil. Anas Bani Yassin with a header from Al-Tamari's assist at the break. The defending champions trail Jordan by a goal to nil. Well, Sasha, how do you sum that one up?
You sum it up by saying that Jordan came out and they've looked a stronger team. Apart from a few glimpses that Australia has shown, the Jordanians' game plan has worked to a T. Their set-piece deliveries have been fantastic. One corner and one free kick, a goal and a crossbar, and a great save there by Matty Ryan to keep his side from going into the half-time break. 2-0 down. The defensive trio in midfield of Zayed Al-Merjan, Baha Abdul Rahman and Bani Attia have been sensational for Jordan. They've really nullified Tommy Rogic and Robbie Cruz. Fantastic half from Jordan. A lot of work left for Australia to do.
Indeed, a big job for the reigning champions. 73% possession for Australia. But, of course, it's what you do with it. And just the one shot on target by the team in green and gold that came from Awar Mabil as early as the 13th minute. They found the red wall of Jordan after that pretty tough to penetrate. And it is Jordan, despite just 27% possession of the football, who go into half-time with the smiles on their faces.
Let's go down into the stands with loud surprises with a very special friend of ours from Australia. Here we go there, lads.
Well, welcome back to Al-Ayed, where the teams are reappearing for the second half. Vital Borkerman's team, Jordan, with the advantage, courtesy of Anas Bani Yassin's header on 26 minutes. Massimo Luongo has reappeared. It would seem from looking around the Australian team, though, that Josh Risdon has not. Not sure whether that's an injury or not, but Ryan Grant is going to come on for his competitive debut for Australia. So that is the half-time change for the Socceroos. In terms of the context of the match, all very similar to Graham Arnold's Asian Cup debut all the way back in 2007 in his first spell in charge of the Roos. That day they played Oman and they trailed by a goal to nil, only for Tim Cahill to get them out of jail in stoppage time and salvage a point. There is Ryan Grant, Sydney FC defender, confirming he is replacing the Western Sydney Wanderer, Josh Risdon, at half-time. 68 places between these two in the FIFA rankings, but at times it hasn't looked like it in the first half. As Jordan get things moving again, second period. What do Australia need to do to turn things around, Sasha Ognanovsky?
Well, for me, Simon, they need to just a bit more composure in that front third. They're trying to deliver crosses into Jamie McLaren, who's possibly our shortest player. If we got a player, striker like that, drill the ball straight across the goal on the floor, it'll make it harder for the defenders and he'll zip in front. They haven't been able to deliver anything of any substance to him yet. Anything in the air gets eaten up by the two central defenders for Jordan. And there's Baniatir again, just picking up where he left off, breaking up the play once more.
Let's see if they can find a solution to the conundrum. Trent Sainsbury, who gave away that free kick in the second half, from which Bahar Abdurrahman struck the crossbar after a fine fingertip save from Matt Ryan. 2-0 it really would have been an uphill task for the defending champions. As it is, they still have it all to do. Here's Milos Degenek, sliding it out towards Aziz Bayic. Ryan Grant, of course, does love to attack down the right-hand side. That's a half-time change for Australia, and he is starting in a very advanced position as the champions look to get back on terms. And Grant looking to sneak in behind, but it drops for Mobile, who fires it across, and it's fingertipped away by Shafi, which keeps it away from the clutches of Jamie McLaren and the other on-rushing Australian attackers. That's a good start to the second half, though, for Australia. They got in behind, which they struggled to do, particularly down that right-hand side first half.
Well, there's a lot of movement there. We saw Ryan Grant move forward and then come back inside, open the space up for Awar Mobile. More movement, dragging players across. That's what they need to do.
Milligan. And now Degenek. Jordan have to be careful. They don't sit too deep and invite pressure for the whole of this second half. Still a long way to go. Little touch by Al-Tamari.
And here it is. Here's that play. And Awar Mobile, a dangerous ball across. But Ryan Grant making that run inside just to open up that space for Awar Mobile.
Sainsbury allowed to advance unchallenged. It's potentially a dangerous ploy by Jordan. Sainsbury having a stretch to keep it away from Yassin Al-Bakit. He did so fairly in the opinion of the ref, Tommy Rogic, with a shot, which was never going to trouble Ahmed Shafi, but the signs at the outset of this second half a little bit more encouraging for the Australian Sasha.
Yeah, well, it is. They're playing in a more advanced role. They've pushed Ryan Grant in an advanced role. When the Socceroos have the ball, and I'm sure that Graham Arnold told his centre halves also carry the ball into the space. As you saw, there was no pressure there on Trent Sainsbury in his delivery.
Anas Bani Yassin, steady work by the goal scorer. That's adjudged as a foul by Deganek on Yusuf Al-Rawashda.
Lunging challenge there by Deganek. Not much in it, but he did cop a, it's like a corky.
I think it's his momentum that causes the problem, isn't it, for Al-Rawashda? Adjudged as a foul. Matt Ryan's come a long way to claim this one. And a safe pair of hands.
Excellent goalkeeping there.
Bajic around Bani Atia. Not many have done that this afternoon. But he can't produce the release to match. That's an intelligent header by Al-Rawashda for Al-Tamri, who gets away from Deganek. Bajic across to help. Still Al-Tamri. Oh, now Al-Tamri was late on Bajic, and you can hear the screams of pain from the Australian fullback. And it's a yellow card for Musa Al-Tamri.
Well, that's his second late challenge for the game. One on Mark Milligan in the first half. And this one on Aziz Bajic. Probably made a bit more of it than what it was. But late nonetheless there by Musa Al-Tamri. And there it is.
Yeah, he's caught him right flush on the ankle bone, hasn't he? That doesn't tickle. Graham Arnold pondering a second change presently. Meantime, Sainsbury, laid off by Mabil. Luongo, it's not an awful lot of width. Mabil trying to provide some. Solid challenge by Firas Shelbaya.
Good positive start by the Socceroos, really pushing Jordan deep into their own area.
Milligan puts it into an area inside the area for Robbie Cruz, and it's Tarek Khattab that puts it behind.
Just forced them on the back foot in the early stages of this second half. Have the Socceroos.
See if they can find an equaliser. Played short for Bajic. A whole clutch of players at that back post. I think it came off Bani Atia last. Ryan Grant not fooled by a dummy from Al-Bakit, and he's continued the run forwards, and he's earned Australia another corner as they continue their second half pressure. The Asian Cup holders.
Bright start for Ryan Grant. Always loves running forward and running past players. Just got to be careful going the other way though.
Mabil's corner off Anas Bani Yassin, controlled by Aziz Bajic, and just a little too much elevation.
Well, it's better delivery, but nobody's attacking it there in the middle. A free header to Anas Bani Yassin to clear the danger. Bit high there from Aziz Bajic.
There's a little bit more purpose about Australia's work. This is Yassin Al-Bakit. Looking to attack Ryan Grant to get to the byline. He's done really well. It's a dangerous ball in. Steered away for now by Aziz Bajic. Retrieved by Musa Al-Tamri. Al-Tamri, oh, it had plenty of power, didn't it? But way off beam.
And that's the danger right there for the Socceroos. The quick transition drop of the shoulder and a dangerous cross into the area. Rawajda nearly getting to the end, nearly getting his head onto it. And then the ever dangerous Al-Tamari cutting onto his preferred left foot.
A decent little counterpunch thrown by Jordan, who've been on the back foot since the game resumed. Australia going to bring on another attacking player shortly. Chris Economides is stripped and ready to go. And Sainsbury again allowed to advance unchallenged into the box. And nobody got a final touch on the end of that. It will be a goal kick for Jordan.
We see Jordan, when Australia's got possession, they almost go into a back six.
Here's that change for Australia. Chris Economides for Robbie Cruz. Is that a good change by Graham Arnold, Sasha?
For me, yes. A player in fantastic form, on for a player who's hasn't been in great form for his country in particular. Let's see if what we see in the A-League with Perth Glory. Chris Economides has been in fine form, scoring goals. Let's see if he can bring that to the Socceroos. Also Al-Tamari there, caught offside. Wasn't ready for that pass.
And Australia immediately sweep downfield. This is Zayed Merjan.
The Jordanians will be happy with that. Just breaks the momentum. That's what they want from their big man there, Zayed Al-Merjan. Hold up the ball, the winner flow in. Jordanians in no rush.
Sainsbury now having to give chase. Al-Bakit, oh, it's wonderful play by Yassine Al-Bakit. But he just couldn't provide the final ball. They get a corner, Jordan. It might have been more. Tricky wing play by Al-Bakit.
Fantastic wing play there by Al-Bakit. Sainsbury turning one way and the other. Had no idea where his player was. And he wins the corner for his team.
Which Al Mobile is in a hurry for Jordan to take. Jordan just starting to come out of their shell potentially. Low delivery by Al-Tamari. This is Khalil Baniatia. Wow.
Wouldn't have that been something, Simon?
In fact, it was Yassine Al-Bakit. My apologies.
Struck with some venom there.
Plays his club football here in the Emirates for Diba Al-Fujairah. Certainly played his part here today for Jordan. Al-Rawajda not quite able to release Al-Tamari.
Well, they're looking for their top man there. Al-Tamari, every chance they get.
Al Mobile gets it back off Bayage. Little drop here for Luongo, squared up for Mark Milligan. Off the head of McLaren. Oh, it's a bit of a mix-up there for Jordan inside their own penalty area. Eventually, Al-Azalin got it out of harm's way. Just a touch of miscommunication could have been fatal for Jordan.
Cheeky little pass there by Mark Milligan. A little chip into Jamie McLaren. Done ever so well to put it in a dangerous position. And nobody following up there for the Socceroos. Bit of confusion between the centre half and the goalkeeper. That's cleared the danger.
Jordan fans lifting the noise levels once again. Perhaps believing their team has weathered this little Australian storm, but it's still a long way to go. Swept out by Milligan towards Ryan Grant. Deganek Sainsbury. Economides, 6 goals and a couple of assists for Perth Glory in just 8 matches in the A-League in Australia this season. Here he is again on the ball. Aziz Bayic. Luongo just looking for an angle. Oh, now edge of the box. Bayic went down in a bit of a tangle of legs with Al-Rawash there, and the eagle-eyed Ahmed Al-Kaf did not miss that. Right on the spot, and says free kick Australia.
Here it is.
Tell you what, that's mighty close to the penalty area, isn't it?
It is an obstruction there of Aziz Bayic, just stood in his way. Fell inside. Initial contact was made outside. Another free kick in a dangerous area for Australia. Let's see if the delivery can be better.
Let's see if Shafi comes flying out with the fist to punch the ball again.
And whether the attack on the ball can be better from the Socceroos.
Dagenak and Milligan offside at the moment. It's slow and flats by Al-Mobile are not particularly effective. Rogic can't reel it in. Eventually it's heavy off the boots of Ryan Grant.
Great defensive header there by Zayed. Al-Merjan. There's the free kick again. Great clearing header.
We played just over an hour in Al Ain. Jordan's lead still intact. Jamie McLaren scampering after this one. Al-Mobile in support. And there was a connection with Anas Badi Yazid. Another free kick Australia, a bit further out this one.
They're putting him under pressure now. Trying to get him behind the Jordanians. A few set pieces in a row now. Let's see what they can do with this one. Al-Mobile on the ball again.
The whole string of Australians looking to attack it. Really good header in the end from Tariq Khattab.
Defended well again there by the Jordanians.
Milligan playing in a more advanced role. Tommy Rogic stung the palms of Shafi. Economides on the follow-up, and Shafi drops gratefully on the ball. And Australia still search for that all-important equaliser.
There it was. That's why you want Rogic. Graham Arnold wants Rogic in those positions because he can do that. Shafi couldn't hold it. Economides the first to get there. Bit of a miss hit in the end, but Australia looking a lot better in this first period of the second half.
Sure, Graham Arnold wants a little bit more out of Tommy Rogic, particularly in the absence, as we said in the first half, of some of his bigger name stars. Aaron Boyd, Daniel Arzani, Andrew Nabbout's not available today after picking up a groin injury yesterday.
It's about where he's going to pick up the ball, Simon. Whether he's further away from goal or closer to goal, where he's more dangerous.
Economides, Bayic driving towards the byline. It's well defended at the end by Firas Shelbaya. Dagenak strong enough to hold off the advances of Musa Al-Tamari.
No respite for the Jordanians. Australia really turning the screws on him.
And Mobile cleverly done to keep it away from Al-Rawash there, but he's been penalised for a high boot.
Just gives the Jordanians time to reset, catch their breath.
Fair to say, Graham Arnold didn't agree with that decision.
Not happy with that one at all.
It just gives Jordan that few moments of respite, doesn't it? Which they need. It has been all Australia's second half.
Sure, Vital Borkermans won't be happy with Bani Yassin just turning the ball over like that. Just puts his team back under pressure again.
Can they maintain their discipline for the final 25 minutes or so and pull off a famous win? Milligan. Look how deep the Jordanians are. Ryan Grant. Milligan. Economides. Milligan again. Rogic. Australia trying to move Jordan around. Ryan Grant to clip it into the box. Economides. Difficult one to control.
It was a difficult one to control. You can see what they're trying to do. Move that Jordanian defence around. Get him behind and deliver across.
Economides looking to make an impact after getting his first goal at international level in the final pre-Asian Cup friendly against Oman. And that game was pretty comfortable for the Socceroos. Today has been much less so. Ryan has to hurry. Oh, and Sainsbury having a stretch.
Dangerous play, they've got away with it, the Socceroos. Couple of short passes there, putting teammates under pressure.
Here come Jordan. Oh, that was a stinging drive, wasn't it, from Zayed Merjan?
Fantastic play there by Yassin Al-Bakit.
Merjan has remained prone on the deck, injured himself in the process of having that effort on goal. The Jordan crowd wants Australia to put the ball out in the end, while Ajalin does it for them. Is it just a touch of cramp? It looks that way. Matt Ryan eager to lend a hand.
Well, this was the strike. Hit with some venom by Zayed Al Marjan. Very comfortable in the end for the Socceroos goalkeeper, Matty Ryan.
Zayed Merjan from the Al-Wadat club, one of the big two in Jordan, playing at his third Asian Cup. Very much a key figure in that midfield trio that has done so well to hold Australia at bay.
Well, he's been clever in getting himself forward as well, Simon.
He's been the more advanced of the three, hasn't he?
Late runs into the area. Again, a bit of respite for the Jordanian defence.
It looks as though he might struggle to continue, and Vital Borkermans is just asking what on earth is going on. Jordan down to 10 just for the moment. Australia looking to profit from that. Squared up by Luongo for Rogic. Everybody inside the penalty area, it seems, for Jordan, including Al Rawashter, who got a crucial touch there. But this is a risky game Jordan are playing.
It is, particularly sitting so deep.
Sainsbury, Economides with room to turn. Luongo goes down inside the box. And no suggestion of a penalty. Tarek Khattab to clear. Al-Tamari takes a tumble. And Deganek is penalised. Those two have had a bit of a running battle this afternoon.
Well, he just turned to run over the... chase down that ball that went over the top. Clattered straight into Deganek. Here's a challenge earlier by Tarek Khattab.
No, shoulder to shoulder.
Nothing in that one.
Zayed Merjan is back with us, and what a towering header there. Here he is again on the ball. Economides doing his defensive duty, very nearly allowing the ball to wriggle free of his control. Al-Rawashda, that should be Ryan's, and is.
Tame cross in the end, easy to deal, easily dealt with by Matty Ryan. There's moments in the front third for Jordan, just gives them a little bit of respite from defending. But for me, they're sitting too far back.
The question remains, though, Sasha, and we've asked this one a few times in the past, recent past, about Australia. We thought the question had been answered, given that they've scored 13 goals in the 4 internationals under Graham Arnold. But where are the goals going to come from?
Well, that's the question mark, isn't it? We know Economides is in goal-scoring form in the A-League. Jackson Irvine's on the bench. He scored a few goals as well for his club team.
It's clever play by Mobile. It's just a bit narrow for Australia. Thump clear by Tarek, cut up.
What a touch there by Tamara.
Oh, how about that from Al-Tabari? And credit too to Massimo Luongo, who ensured he didn't add another little highlight to his reel by going on and perhaps putting Matt Ryan under pressure. He's a super player, isn't he? Great talent. Musa Al-Tamari.
Fantastic. So positive. Whenever he gets the ball, he looks to run forward, looks to run at defenders.
Milligan. Rogic. Ryan Grant available.
There's not a lot of movement. Needs to be runs off the ball, runs in behind.
Jordan are well set defensively. And again, Australia forced to turn back into the final 20 minutes.
They'll be very happy because they can see everything in front of them, Simon.
Economides, now Bajic is in behind, low delivery, oh, and scooped over by Rogic. Didn't get the contact required.
Oh, what a chance there for Tommy Rogic to equalise for Australia. Great interplay, great ball by Aziz Bajic. He didn't whip it high, along the ground on Tommy Rogic's favoured left foot. He couldn't even test the keeper. Really needs to do better in that situation, Tommy Rogic.
Jordan are going to make a change. And they're going to withdraw their main man, Musa Al-Tabari, and replace him with Baha Faisal, striker from Al Wadat. And he's been a joy to watch, and I'm sure there's a lot more to come from Musa Al-Tabari in this particular competition and beyond. Claimed an assist for the goal that still divides the two teams, scored by Anas Bani Yassin in the 26th minute. Baha Faisal, a more centrally minded striker. He can perhaps be the outlet as Jordan look to protect that slender advantage.
Interesting move there by Vital Borkermans.
Bajic, not a bad delivery. It's a weak clearance. Economides. Tarek Katab holds them up, Australia. And Firas Shelbaya completes the clearance, and that's a clever header by Baha Faisal. Gets it back off Zayed Merjan. Could be in here for a second. Baha Faisal, what an introduction. That would have been off the bench for Jordan.
Oh, what a chance for the Jordanians. Baha Faisal winning the header, knocking it down to Zayed Al-Merjan. Tame effort in the end. Just a little warning shot at Australia not to fall asleep there. It was a simple clearance.
Luongo. Bit of a nothing ball in the end from the Queen's Park Rangers midfielder. Kalo Baniatir has clattered into Awa Mobile. It is a clear case of obstruction by the Australian.
Looked like a bit of a head clash there too.
Crucial respite for Jordan.
Well, they were on the break there, Simon. Referee didn't play the advantage. And there's the other change for Australia.
Yeah, Massimo Luongo has been withdrawn. And Jackson Irvine, the Hull City midfielder, takes his place. His 26th cap. He did score off the bench against Oman last time out in that friendly.
Scored a fantastic goal.
Well, what
Simon.
Australia wouldn't give for something like that here today.
Playing in an advanced role there. Jackson Irvine almost in the number 10 role.
Well, he can play anywhere in that midfield, can't he? As a 6 or an 8 or a 10. Very versatile player. Could he be the man to unlock the Jordanian defence? Again, they're sat very deep. This is Rogic. Flighted delivery towards Bajic, who might not have been expecting it to drop for him. He hooked it back across the face with his right boot. Australia will have to go all the way back and start again through Matt Ryan. And we're into the final quarter of an hour. Economides, they find the space momentarily, Australia. And not for long enough, and now the counter is potentially on. Oh, Rawash there on the right. And he's collected by Economides. Needless foul, silly one really for Australia to give away.
Oh, he's done really well there, Rawash there. Economides, no need to dive in there. Give away a silly foul.
Clumsy.
Just lets the Jordanians off the hook, really.
Clumsy and unnecessary.
Gives them time to waste some time, set up a set piece for the big centre halves to get forward.
Bahar Abdurrahman to whip it in. Now there are 1 or 2 shouts for handball there against Bajic. Well, Australia had a shout for a penalty in the first half at that end of the ground. And you can see by the reaction of Vital Borkermans, the Jordanian coach, they thought that should have been a spot kick.
Well, it looked like he headed it onto his hand there, Simon.
Anyway, neither appeal given. Still 1-0. Mobile to sling it in. Too high for Economides, and the bounce defeats Bajic. Here it is again. Yeah, off his head and onto his arm.
Well, that's a handball there.
You've seen them given.
Australia lucky to get away with that one, as were Jordan in the first half.
Time starting to be very much of the essence for Graham Arnold's team. 12.5 minutes of normal time to go. Economides trying to disguise it for Mobile. Disguised it so well, he fooled his own teammate. Here's Mobile a second time. Oh, and Mobile! Oh! Thumps off the post. And Australia was so close to an equaliser.
Confusion in the box there from the Jordanian defence. Omar Mobile, fantastic strike, hits the upright.
It's the closest they've come all day. Here's Mobile again, the cutback for McLaren. Will it drop for Jackson Irvine? Not quite. Jordan survived for now. Zayed Merjan trying to lead the attack the other way. It's clever interplay involving Yassin Al-Bakib, but a good sliding challenge by Sainsbury. Al-Bakit has remained down, a touch of cramp potentially. Jordan hanging on, Mabil. And out it goes. Off Salim Al-Ajalit for an Australian throw-in. Tense moments here in Al Ain.
Jordan just holding on to this slender lead that they have. Another Jordanian down with cramp.
And that's about the most work that Matt Ryan has had to do in this second half. Help out the opposition with their issues with cramp.
Might get a physio role for the Jordanian national team.
But crucially,
Ryan.
He's been the goalkeeper that's been beaten tonight.
It's good interplay there and a timely challenge by Trent Sainsbury to break up that play.
Well, our Mabil
He's had two.
was so close.
Two brilliant chances today, Al-Amabil. Made space, cracking strike. Not sure the keeper knew too much about that one. Omar Shafi. Two best chances have fallen to that man there.
The upright to the rescue of the goalkeeper. Mabil at Australia denied. Al-Bakit still receiving attention. Stretcher is on again.
Well, they need to get him off the field, don't they, once the stretcher's on?
Yeah, that's what the referee is intimating.
Just time wasting by the Jordanian.
And again, Jordan will continue with 10 for the time being. And again, Vital Borkemans is out to the edge of the technical zone. So what's going on? Do I need to make a change? Meantime, long throw by Grant. Irvine couldn't reach it. Thump clear by Firas Shelbaya. Anywhere will do for Jordan. They've been so disciplined, but can they hang on? Punched in by Grant and Jackson Irvine. Got good contact, but not the direction he wanted.
Fantastic opportunity. Great cross there by Grant. Jackson Irvine really should have done better. Free header in the end. Just needed to direct it toward goal. Unfortunately for the Socceroos, he couldn't.
Yassim Al-Bakit is back with us. Jordan back up to their full complement. Australia now leading the shot count 10-8. Jordan have the one that matters. If Australia were to lose, it would be only their second reverse to an AFC nation in 21 matches. Grant's cross, Economides, spilled by the goalkeeper, and they appeal for a penalty. More vociferously this time, Jackson Irvine in particular. They feel Jamie McLaren was perhaps impeded, nothing doing. Corner taken quickly, slung in by Al-Mabil. Off the head of Yassin Al-Bakit.
There's nothing, there's no respite.
Now Sainsbury. Can he pick out a teammate? Too high for Irvine. Another corner for Australia.
Was a chance for Jordan to regroup. Australia really turning the screws. Another set piece for him.
10th corner of the game. Australia have had 8 of them. Mabil with the latest of them. And Shafi again, happy to punch clear. And you know, really, he was under no pressure there. Could quite easily have caught that one as well. Instead, he's invited more pressure.
In these tense situations, you need your goalkeeper to hold on to the ball, give your team a chance to push out. They're defending from the penalty spot. Dangerous position.
Deganek. And again, Khalil Badiatir has had a terrific game today. Drawing the foul.
that's his first mistake.
We'll forgive him that one.
We'll forgive him. It's his first mistake. What a game he's played.
Jordan get the decision.
Well, here's the chance for Australia. Economides.
Well, they're claiming the high boots by Tarak Khattab. Do they have a case here, Sash?
It's a great clearance, but there is a high boot there. Does he make contact with Jamie McLaren there?
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that on that particular replay. Interesting, though. Australians certainly thought they had a case. Slung out wide by Irvine. Floated in by Grant. Economides met it, but off target again. It's just been wave after wave of Australian attack, but no end product as yet.
Just a lofted ball into Economides, but he's got 3 men to challenge. 3 men to beat on back stick. Difficult task for the Perth Glory man.
Well, this is a result if it stays this way. Might send a few shockwaves around the 2019 AFC Asian Cup. The reigning champions trailing late in the game. Here's Bajic. Back they come through Milligan. He did get a little nibble on the ankles there by Fianas Shelbaya. Referee happy to play advantage. Again, Jordan very deep. Here's Roggett back off Mobile. It might drop for Economides. McLaren! No
Offside.
flags up. Flag is up. It's not going to count. Australia thought they had an equaliser. Not so. Well, Jamie McLaren thought that was his big moment. Change going to be made by Jordan. Their second, Ahmed Ersan, to replace Yassin Al-Bakit, who went down with cramp some minutes ago. He urges one last effort from his teammates and from the fans here in Al Ain. And here's that moment, and it's offside, and it looks like a good decision against Jamie McLaren.
It is a good decision. Well done there by the linesman. But the interplay that happened before that chance, Simon, that's what Australia need to do. Movement off the ball.
A shorter time, and they could be 2 down here. Al-Rawash there with the bicycle kick, but easily fielded in the end by Matt Ryan.
Audacious effort there by Al-Rawash. Comfortable in the end for Matty Ryan.
Economides, there's Baniatia, man of the match for me. Head and shoulders
What a game
for Jordan.
What a game. Hasn't put a foot wrong.
Is there going to be like drama here in Al Ain? We saw it in 2007 against Oman for Australia. Here's Rogic.
Just desperation there by Tommy Rogic.
Not really been his night, Tommy Rogic. And there's another case of cramp.
Well, you wonder
that man Zayed Murjan again.
You wonder how much that rolled ankle in the first half has hindered him on top of the flare-up he had with his knee.
And if it stays this way, Sasha, in terms of Australia, it's a wonderful day for Jordan if it finishes up with 3 points for Al Nashama, the brave, the chivalrous, and they've been those things and much more tonight. But it places huge pressure on Graham Arnold's team ahead of their second game against Palestine, 11th of January in Dubai.
Well, the good thing is they do have another 2 games, Simon, to rectify the problems and to win 2 games of football to get through this group. But it will give the other teams confidence. Watching Jordan play, watching the effort that they put in, that Australia are beatable. Just makes the task a lot harder for Graham Arnold's men. And again, the problem will be, where are the goals going to come from?
So Zayed, who certainly played his part, has taken his leave. The cramp has done for him. Ahmed Samir from the Al Jazeera club in Jordan is with us. Although he did play here in the UAE, in the second division here last season, with Al Aruba. Time running very short now for the Australians. It's been a tale of immense frustration, despite almost total territorial dominance, particularly in the second half. They've been unable to find a way through. And we're into 5 additional minutes at the end of the 90.
Plenty of time left, if they're good enough to find the equaliser.
Here's Sainsbury. McLaren couldn't reach that one. Baha Faisal to release Jordan down the left. He's done really well, really well. The substitute, Ahmed Ersan, hitting the side netting, and Matty Ryan just had an anxious glance to make sure that he'd got his angles covered. But that's what you need from your substitute, energy and drive to release that pressure.
I'm not sure he did have those angles covered there, Simon. Poor ball by Tommy Rogic. It's a difficult pass.
Well, all the Jordanians inside this stadium are on their feet. Matty Ryan out to the edge of his area, anxious to get things restarted quickly for the Asian Cup holders, who are on the brink of being embarrassed in the opening game of their defence. Irvine stretches every sinew to win it in the air. Comes off Degenek's head twice. Retrieved by Mabil. Can they find that little bit of quality, Australia? Economides. Touch off Jackson Irvine and through the legs of Al-Ajlin and behind for a goal kick, even though Irvine insists it should be a corner. More valuable seconds wasted.
Valuable seconds indeed for the Socceroos, Simon. And I'm sure Ahmed Shafi is going to take his time. I'm not sure that angle was covered there, Simon. If that was on target, that was in the back of the net. Ahmed Shafi taking his time with this goal kick.
Jordan on the brink of one of their biggest ever victories. Quarter-finalists in the Asian Cup, 2004, 2011. They ran Japan very close in that quarter-final in 2004, losing in a penalty shootout. Ahmed Shafi's come a long way. His punch, not really a particularly good one, but Jordan have got away with it. And Baha Faisal in a straight contest with Mark Milligan, and he tries to nutmeg the Australian captain, and then Tommy Rogic chasing back to provide cover and win the ball back for Australia.
But again, precious seconds wasted for the Jordanians.
It's pretty much all or nothing now for Graham Arnold's team. Tommy Rogic on the ball, and it cannons out off Khalil Baniatia.
What a game that man has played.
Rogic was there to be won for Degenek, but Al-Ajlin did his job. Another corner for Australia.
Well, this is it, Simon.
Matt Ryan is actually saying to Graham Arnold, do you want me to go up? See if I can get on the end of it. He's not getting much of a response from his coach at the moment. But it's that sort of part of the game for the Socceroos. It might be all on this. It's Awamobile's delivery. Economides can't get there. And fittingly, it's Khalil Baniatia who got it out of harm's way for Jordan. We're into the final minutes. Maybe time for one more opportunity for Australia. Slung in by Rogic, nodded down by Sainsbury. The loose ball favours Grant. Out it goes off Ahmed.
Again, precious seconds wasted.
It's going to be launched long by Ryan Grant. Surely Australia's last chance. Off Anas Bani Yassin, whose goal looks like being the match winner for Jordan, who've been so brave, as befitting their nickname. Here's Aziz Bayic. Still we go on. Irvine couldn't get his head on the end of it. Here's Milos Deganek. Only seconds to go. Rogic. Chris Economides. Stabbed towards goal by Irvine, and Jordan survive, and that is surely that. The whistle goes, the substitutes run on the pitch. It is a famous night for Jordanian football. Joy for Jordan. They have defeated the Asian Cup holders in the opening game of Group B, as yet again Al-Nashama upset Australia in the Middle East. It's the third time that has happened since 2012, and it now sets up a mouth-watering clash with Syria for Al-Nashama. They defended in numbers, strongly, bravely towards the end. Australia had all the ball in the second half, but they could not find a way through. And that was to prove the last opportunity for the Asian Cup holders. The reigning champions are beaten and now under serious pressure to defeat Palestine on match day 2 in Dubai. But it's all about Jordan here in Al Ain. They get the win thanks to Anas Bani Yassin's first half goal, teed up by the impressive Musa Al-Tabari. Their midfield trio were workmanlike and determined and brave throughout. They protected Ahmed Shafi, and he gets the hugs and the congratulations, the captain. What a day for Jordan. A huge win for them. It has finished here in Al Ain in success for Vital Borkerman's side. Australia 0, Jordan 1. Well, the Jordanians, Sasha Ognanovsky, deserve these moments. They fought so hard.
Oh, what a performance. Simon, what a team performance. What a fitting way to end for their captain as well. A double save in the end. And to hear the final whistle, to hear the roar of the Jordanian fans that have not stopped singing all game. Fantastic game. And what a fantastic game by Khalil Baniatia.
And a word of praise too for the coach, the Belgian Vital Borkermans. Got his tactics spot on tonight.
Spot on. And his team followed what he wanted to a T.
They had to defend deep in the second half.
In the second half, they were under the pump, well and truly. But Australia couldn't find a way to score, to at least get a point out of this game. Now they have an all-important game against Palestine coming up.
And let's not forget, Bahar Abdul Rahman might well have made it too in the first half. That stinging free kick that Matt Ryan did so well to push onto the frame of the goal. And in the